Hey friends, picture this, a trendy clothing store with a new line of jeans that kill everyone in sight. Slaxx is a wild mix of horror and dark comedy, where a pair of possessed pants throws a bloody party. A young woman, Libby, shows up at a famous clothing store to start her job as a sales clerk. An employee named Shruti takes her to meet the manager, Craig, who welcomes her and explains they're launching a new collection tomorrow. Libby meets the other staff, and one of them tells her she must always wear the store's clothes. So, she shells out for an expensive uniform. While changing in the bathroom, Libby overhears Hunter and Gemma talking. They're discussing a pair of jeans Gemma stole from the warehouse, even though the collection hasn't launched yet, which could get her fired. Hunter disapproves but keeps quiet since she and Gemma are close friends. Craig rallies the employees, urging them to go all out to sell the new collection and make a great impression on the company's owner, who's arriving soon. During his speech, Gemma feels something weird in her jeans and rushes to the bathroom to check. But the jeans come alive, tighten around her waist, and tear her apart.
Damn!
Meanwhile, the company owner arrives and introduces the new collection, specifically high-tech jeans called Super Shapers. They automatically adjust to any body size, fitting perfectly whether someone gains or loses weight. At the presentation, the staff learns the jeans are made from 100% cotton from Indian plains. They're also told the store will stay closed until morning, opening briefly for a popular influencer to check out the collection. Craig tries to ask about a promotion, obsessed with climbing the company ladder. The owner says they'll review top performers after the Super Shapers launch, and Craig vows to make everything perfect. After the store closes, the staff gets to work. Craig asks Hunter to find Gemma and send her to her post, but instead, she finds the jeans, which seem to hypnotize her. She tries them on, but once she puts them on, the jeans take control of her legs, making her trip and impale her head on a clothing hanger. After two employees vanish, Craig sends Libby to find them, and she soon discovers Gemma's body. Terrified, Libby tells Craig and wants to call the police, but he stops her. He's scared the presentation will flop, ruining his shot at a promotion. Though spooked by the death, Craig denies there's a killer and insists they focus on prepping for the morning, promising to call the police later. Libby reluctantly agrees, and they hide Gemma's body. Then the Super Shapers find a guy named Lord. He plans to take them to the warehouse, but the jeans kill him before he can. Fueled by blood, the Super Shapers grow stronger, now able to kill whether they're worn or not. Soon, Craig and Libby find Lord's body. Craig tries to convince her it's just a mannequin and a prank, but Libby doesn't buy it. When she starts to panic, Craig knocks her out and drags her to a storage room. Later, the lockdown lifts, and an influencer named Jules arrives to shoot a video for her followers. Craig plans to show her around, but another manager, Barb, who's also gunning for a promotion, steps in. Jules falls in love with the jeans and asks Craig to grab a few pairs, so he heads to the warehouse. As Jules starts filming, the Super Shapers come alive, wrap around her neck, and kill her. Panic erupts and everyone scatters. Craig returns and sees the jeans soaking up blood. He rushes to the office where he finds Barb, who's clueless about the chaos. He tries to warn her, but she interrupts and insults him. Craig stays quiet and Barb gets killed, leaving him smug about eliminating a rival. The Super Shapers find Shruti, but instead of attacking, they dance to the Indian song she's listening to. Meanwhile, Libby wakes up and returns to the main floor, finding Jules' camera. Watching the footage, she learns what happened. Then she finds Shruti and shows her the video. Horrified, they try to escape, but all exits are locked, forcing them to hide behind racks. Craig contacts them, saying his office is safe. But Libby insists Craig can't be trusted since he knew about the killings and did nothing. With no other choice, they head to his office. There, Craig denies everything, calling it a mass hallucination. Suddenly, they spot a mannequin moving on its own via security cameras. Libby recalls the jeans dancing to Indian music. They test the theory by playing Bollywood tunes, and the Super Shapers start dancing again. They notice a bindi on the mannequin's forehead, and Libby urges Shruti to speak to it in Hindi. Hesitant, Shruti asks what the jeans want. Shockingly, it works. The mannequin writes the name Kephart in blood on the wall. Thinking Kephart might be an employee, Shruti asks Craig to check. but he says they have too many contractors to know everyone. The girls realize the company's ethical brand claims are nonsense if they don't even know their workers. Then they discover the jeans are made from GMO cotton, despite the company's organic claims. Kephart shares her story. She was a 13-year-old girl working on Indian cotton fields who died after getting caught in a thresher. That cotton was used to make the Super Shapers. Craig tries to defend the company, but the girls see through his lies, especially after he admitted they can't track production. Libby vows to expose the truth and seek justice. She and Shruti leave the office, promising Kephart they'll tell her story if she stops killing. Craig follows and attacks the jeans with a fire extinguisher. Libby declares she's quitting. They realize there are 175 pairs of Super Shapers in the warehouse that could come alive. Craig decides to bolt, while the girls head to the warehouse, finding piles of corpses devoured by jeans. Craig returns, demanding the camera to protect the store's reputation. The girls refuse and hide in the warehouse, but Craig finds Shruti and kills her. Then he realizes the camera has no memory card and goes after Libby. He finds her, starts choking her, and demands the memory card. The Super Shapers attack Craig, brutally killing him. Coming to, Libby returns to the main floor and sees a crowd desperate to enter for the new collection. The lockdown is about to lift, and the doors will open. Libby begs Kephart to stop killing, but realizing it's futile, she rushes to block the doors. The crazed crowd pushes past her, knocking her down. Bleeding out on the floor, Libby watches in her final moments as the Super Shapers unleash a massacre. And that's where the movie ends. So this film is pure trash that doesn't aim for depth, but hits the spot if you want to switch off your brain and laugh at the absurdity. I enjoyed it as a one-time watch. Killer jeans, ridiculous deaths, and dark humor create such a wild vibe that you don't need to think. Just watch and soak in the chaos. If you love weird horror comedies, Slaxx is for you. What do you think of this madness? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more recaps. See you next time.